Hello and welcome to the Joint Venture Insider Show. I am your host, Michael Whitehouse, and we are very excited to have a guest today. We're going to be speaking to Katharine Calhoun about her upcoming launch in a moment. But before that, let's talk about some of the things we've got coming up. So, what do we have coming up? Of course, Joint Venture Insider Circle, our sponsor, they are doing their launch coming up in August 23rd to September 1st. It's a great program. If you're not familiar with JVIC, it is one of the best ways to learn about how to build a course and joint ventures and find partners and do all that kind of good stuff. It's only a $9.97 program. So if you're watching this saying, I wish I could learn more about joint ventures, which might be why you're watching this, and how to find partners and how to do all that kinds of good stuff, JVIC is a great place to do that. And if people in your audience could benefit from learning more about joint ventures, this is the place to have them do that. It is an amazing program. Also, they have upcoming, I don't have a slide for it, but JVX, the Joint Venture Experience, is live and in person coming up in October. So keep an eye out for that. There's affiliate opportunities for that as well. Katharine Calhoun, who we'll be hearing from in a few moments. She is launching her Clarity Momentum Success Gold membership launch coming up August 2nd to 21st. There's also a $9.97 program. And this is great for people who struggle with the techie stuff. Not that I've got technology completely mastered, as if you watch any of my stuff, you'll see. Total master, never late, never have any problems like that. But, for everyone else, there's a lot of technology that it takes to running a business these days, from the place you keep your courses, to your videos, to your podcast, to all the rest. And Katharine Calhoun is going to help you with that. She's going to be coming on in the next block to talk a little bit about her upcoming launch and some of the things she learned. And what's really cool, she's then going to come back after the launch to do a debrief, share what worked, what didn't work, what she learned, and what you can learn from her experience. Coming up also, Dan Mangena. Do It With Dan. He's a money mindset coach. Is amazing money mindset, money manifestation, those kinds of things. Basically, if you want to make more money, Dan's a good guy to know and good program to follow. And if your audience is looking to make more money, show of hands. Whose audience wants to make more money? Could be you. I bet you raised your hand. He has a great program called Money DNA. It basically helps you to get in alignment with the way you interact with money. If you're in alignment, then you're going to be comfortable. If you're not in alignment, if you're trying to make money a certain way, if you're trying to make money, say, doing hard selling and slamming deals, but you're more of a consultative healer type person, the money's not going to stick. You're not going to be comfortable with it, and vice versa. So the Money DNA workshop is about getting in alignment, understanding your money DNA, understanding how you interact with money, how you interact with the universe, really, in a way to get aligned. And that sells into a workshop, a boot camp. The workshop is what we start with. Now, what's great about this is an actual workshop. It's not just a webinar. It's not a sales pitch. Dan is really going to take people through the workshop. And a lot of the partners who end up promoting go to the workshop as well, get a lot out of it, and they're there with their community. And so it's effective because they choose to go ahead with the boot camp, but also, you get a lot out of it. This is a really, really great program for anyone looking to make more money. And it leads into a $9.97 boot camp that goes more in depth. And then from there, there's some other great programs. He will also do a private workshop for partner with the right audience. So if you can get about 25, 30 or more people into the room with people who are looking to make more money in their business. Now, this could be coaches. This could be people in the real estate. It could be crypto. It could be investing. There's all kinds of audiences. And if he does a private workshop, of course, it's with your audience. So it's kind of a different vibe than you're sending people to him. It's you're bringing him in. You tell your audience, hey, I got this guy. He's amazing. He's an amazing money mindset coach. I'm bringing him for you. He's going to do the workshop. I use it as a little bit shorter workshop for the private ones, but still just as impactful, just as powerful. He makes you look good. Teaches your audience some great things, and of course the same commissions are available. Also coming up, Jill Lublin's Publicity Breakthrough Challenge. So the challenge is September 7th through 9th, and there's a 50% commission on the registrations and also the bundles. So and you can also promote the publicity right through boot camp. So there's the link in the link down in the show notes. And really, for all the stuff, I forgot to mention, for all the stuff, there's a link in the show notes. For most of them, there's links for both first tier. So if you say, hey, this is for me, I want to go, there's a link for that. And if you say, hey, this is for my audience, I want to share it, there's a link for that. And you can do both. Both is good. So you can definitely do that. So a lot of good stuff coming up there. And I also want to share with you, let me put myself back up big. So if you're in the audience and saying, hey, I got a promotion coming up, why aren't you talking about mine? Because I don't know about it. So you go to this link, guywhoknowsaguy.com/JVIS promo. That's Joint Venture Insider Show promo. JVIS promo. Fill out the form. That will give us what we need to give my assistant Kendra what she needs to put you in the slideshow. And then we're happy to promote it. I'm happy to promote big, small. If you got something evergreen coming up next week, we're going to be promoting something which is an evergreen partnership. So he actually records a unique webinar for each partner instead of everyone going to one, and so it can be more customized. So all kinds of different things. So whatever you're doing, if you're looking for partners, want to share it, because part of the concept here is I want to share all different types of promotions, so you can watch it and say, oh, I hadn't thought about doing it that way. That's interesting. A 3-hour workshop going into a 5-week boot camp. Interesting concept. Hadn't thought of that. Or, a webinar leading into a challenge, leading into a workshop to something else. There's all kinds of different ways to do it, and some of this is just to inspire some of those different concepts. So you can certainly reach me there. Sign up that way, and you can also reach me at michael@guywhoknowsaguy.com. So if you have questions for some of the partners, I don't actually have a second tier link. So if you want to be a promoter, the best way to do that is reach out to me, and I'll connect you for that. And that's what I got. Yes. Can you tell this is not scripted? It's totally live, improvising. So, all right. And now, in a moment, I'm going to bring you our first ever live interview with Katharine Calhoun. So get excited, because it's coming right after this.
And now,
hello, welcome, Katharine. You may have heard about her a few moments ago when I was talking about her launch coming up, and now she's here herself on the Joint Venture Insider Show. So welcome to the show, Katharine.
Hey, Michael. Thank you for having me.
All right. So the concept of this block is to bring people on who are doing joint ventures, having success with joint ventures, to share some of the things that are working for you, some of your wisdom about that, so that people can watch and say, oh, I am now smarter. Katharine is so smart, and I have so much for knowledge. So yay. So tell us a little bit about the launch that you have coming up, and
Sure.
and how that's looking.
Yeah. Happy to do that. So again, I'm Katharine. I am a tech coach. I help entrepreneurs DIY the techie stuff in their online businesses, even if they're ordinarily not very good with the techie stuff. Those are my people. Mm-hmm. And I have a membership program that with different tiers of it, but we have a sort of a signature membership community that gives people all the training, gives people opportunities to ask questions, just to keep all the tech in your online business really simple. And so that's the launch that we have coming up. It's for the mid-tier, and so it's called Clarity, Momentum, Success Gold. We call it CMS Gold for short, because it's a mouthful. And I have been growing my business through partnerships from day one. I'm a huge believer in the strategy for a lot of different reasons. And yeah, so that's the launch that's coming up. We have our biggest lineup of affiliates ever. My team has been working really hard to put that together. That's really exciting. Mm-hmm. And we're just kind of getting the finishing touches on everything to be able to start like actively, saying we actually recently transitioned this, but for the last couple of years, we've been doing Jeff Walker's PLF style launches. So it's sort of 4 pre-recorded videos, and we're doing it again this time.
Okay. So if people not familiar with Jeff Walker's PLF system, what is the actual structure of that?
So the main difference, so the classic, often when we think about launching or we think about, doing a webinar, it's sort of like this free webinar. Often it's done live, and then there's like free content given away, and at the end there's an opportunity for a paid offer, right? And the PLF model, PLF stands for Product Launch Formula. It's not, it's a similar kind of thing. It's just stretched out a little bit longer. So instead of there just being like one webinar and then an offer, there are the classic, there's, lots of variations, but the classic model is 3 videos where it's content and you're giving and it's generosity and you're teaching and all of those kinds of things. And the 3 videos kind of lead one into the other. And then the 4th video is the sales video. So that's where you make your offer. And that's what we're doing.
Okay. So this is something where like the first set of emails promotes the first video and the next set promotes the next video and the next set.
Basically, yeah. So, basically we're always trying to get people, and it's the same thing with a single webinar. You're always trying to get people to actually consume the content that they signed up for, right? There's many challenges with launching, right? There's like getting people to sign up for the launch. And then once they've signed up for it, is getting them to actually attend the thing that they said that they wanted to see or watch the replay or whatever. So there's a lot of, it's like, so right now our first video doesn't actually come out until August 9th. So we're kind of just right before our promo period is starting. So right now we're just kind of getting everything ready, but then in about a week's time, we'll start, and our affiliates as well, our partners will start sending emails that are like, hey, Catharine's got this cool thing coming up. It's called the Techie Stuff Workshop. And it's just, again, it's the same thing I do. It's just all about keeping tech really simple. And so that very first video is all about where the number one place is what's the number one place for you to be focusing on when it comes to the techie stuff to keep your business simple. And so the first little bits of promo are like, come to the Techie Stuff Workshop. It's going to be really awesome. Here's what she's going to be covering. And then as we get closer to August 9th, when that first video drops, like you said, it's like, okay, video 1's coming. And then it's like video 1's here. And video 1 just dropped yesterday. So watch video 1. And it's like, you want to hurry up because video 2 is coming tomorrow. And so that's just kind of the trajectory through it.
Okay, so you got to build that energy over time, and
exactly.
People might see video 1 and be like, "Oh yeah, she knows what she's talking about. All right, oh, tell me more."
Yeah.
Oh, video 2. Oh, she really knows what she's talking about. Okay, tell me more. And kind of working them through that path.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And so to what would you credit you said you have the most partners you've had before. Now, obviously, I assume you have kind of a continuous growth trajectory. But is there anything particular you've done that's been especially effective for bringing in partners this time?
Yeah. So the main thing is actually the trajectory piece, and I'll talk about that in a second. I want to first make sure that I give all of the credit to my JV manager. Her name is Marie, and she is she's just extremely good at her job. She's very well connected. She's very good at communicating, and she's also really good with keeping people on task kind of thing. And so one of the things that can happen when you are bringing in partners is they'll say that they will promote for you. And then, they either forget or it gets lost in the shuffle. They get busy. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's not at all uncommon for partners to say that they'll commit to promoting and they don't actually promote. And one of the things that, and you don't have to have a JV manager to do this, but you want to make sure whether it's you as the CEO doing it or whether it's, somebody on your team doing it, having somebody to just regularly check in with your partners and say, hey, there's this critical deadline that's coming up in the next, week. I want to make sure you have all the materials that you need. If you have any questions at all, if you want to jump on the line with me and discuss what promotional strategies might work best for you and your community, I'm happy to do that. And just kind of keeping them engaged in the process is. So anyway, that's not exactly the question that you asked me. You were asking me
that is definitely a key point. It
is really key. Yeah. And the other thing too, when we talk about the trajectory piece of it, is that's relationship building, right? Your relationship building with your partners. And on the partner side of things, when you're the partner who's kind of getting the white glove gold star treatment from
Mm-hmm.
the person whose stuff you've said you're going to promote, you are more likely to enjoy being a partner for that person. And so it's all relationship building. It's always one of the worst mistakes that I see entrepreneurs make when they're getting partners, is really treating it as kind of a one and done, like micro transaction, when really, I mean, we have some pretty big partners this time, and it's really, our partners have just been getting bigger and bigger and bigger over the years. And I actually had a colleague just a couple of weeks ago. She was asking me, like, what did I do to get these big fish kind of partners? And it's putting in the time with the relationships. A lot of it has been, paying forward. So I've been a partner for them on their launches, and started to get kind of close to the leaderboard, or maybe just a little bit on the leaderboard. And then you get a little bit further up the leaderboard the next time. And then eventually they start to know who you are. They start to see that you're putting in the time, and then there's a reciprocal thing. But and so, yeah, like treating your partners really well. It's not that people like typically like don't treat their partners well, but we kind of have like a go above and beyond sort of model, because it's uncommon in this industry for people to just take that extra little bit of time to go, I care about you. I want to make sure you have what you need. And obviously, the more you empower your partners to be successful, the better results you are going to have in your own launches, right? Like, but oftentimes it stops with, oh, you're going to promote? Awesome. Thank you. Here's your link. And then that's the end of it. And so there's no follow-up to make sure they promote. There's no follow-up to make sure that they have what they need. There's no follow-up at all. And that's where, that's really a missed opportunity, in my opinion, because Yeah, no,
I love that. And so I've dabbled into JV management, discovered I'm much better on camera than JV managing. But I've actually started recruiting a pool, because a lot of people are out there who don't have a JV manager and need one. And what I've discovered is the skill set is really, it's not a highly technical skill set. It's just building relationships, following up, being organized.
Yes.
It's a following up and organized, which is not my strength, and thus why I'm finding people. Connecting people is my strength. So I'm finding some of those follow up and organize people, and then I'm going to be pairing them. But it really is about that, making sure it's easy. And I've had launches that I wanted to promote, but then I'm like, hey, where's my link again? Okay, where's the swipe copy again? It's in one email. It's buried back there. You sent it to me 3 weeks ago, and then I get the reminder email saying, hey, don't forget to launch. I'm like, okay, where's the links? Where's the swipes? Where, like, I need it right in front of me, because I don't have a JV manager. It's just me. So you make it easy, I'll promote it. You make it hard, I'll get you next time.
I mean, even like, I totally agree with you. And I had my JV manager, Marie, like she handles like managing our partners who are supporting our launches. But I'm like, when it comes to me supporting other people, I do all of that myself, because I'm very type A when it comes to the copywriting part of it. So I just want it to be just the way I want it to be. And so like, I feel you with all of that, because I'll get, if it's hard to find, or it's just, it's not a huge extra effort on the part of the entrepreneur to just make it easy for your partners. Just make it easy. And the other thing too is, like, we have a whole website for our affiliates, so they can learn a little bit about the program, and they can, I don't know if you're going to have show notes or something. If people want to see the link, they're welcome to take a look at it. But it's basically like, we treat the partner side of our launches almost like a launch unto itself. Like, it's not just, here's like a boring email that's riddled with typos and no thought put into it. It's like, one of the sort of core things that you do when you are going to sell a product, like, just to your clients, when you're going to sell a product, you think, okay, like, who is my ideal client? What do they want? What do they struggle with? Well, that kind of really foundational sort of avatar work that we all have to do when every single program that we take online, mine included. And we do a similar sort of thing with our partners. We're like, okay, so what is the benefit to our partners in promoting this launch. So we're not just like, oh, it's money. It's like, well, yes, there's commissions, but what else? In our case, for a lot of times with CMS, because I'm helping people with the tech, a lot of times, a lot of my colleagues are teaching strategies, they're teaching cool things like how to build a course and how to build a website and how to do a launch. But the tech, the actual click by click by click tech handholding is often missing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the things that we share with our prospective partners is we say, look, if you teach something, but the tech handholding is not your favorite thing to do because most people don't like to teach that, or if you find that your clients are kind of not getting the results as the peak results that they possibly could because tech continues to be a stumbling block, we can help them with that. And so that starts to make our partners go, oh, like me actually getting this resource in front of my people actually benefits my people, which ultimately benefits me. And so we take that time to sort of think through, really it's just marketing, but instead of marketing to our actual avatar, it's marketing to our JV partners and just kind of going, what's in this for you beyond just, I promote you, you promote me, the end.
Yeah, it really is. It's something Amanda Guy taught me is that there's two launches. There's the launch to the partners and then the launch through the partners to the clients.
Yes.
And, you need to sell the partners on selling the product. And it's, they're not giving you money, but they're giving you time. They're giving you space in their calendar. They're giving you the attention of their audience. So it's still a transaction or exchange of value. I think it's probably a better way to put it than transaction. But yeah, you really want to think of it as you have a campaign for your partners and a campaign. And I've kind of realized that as I'm putting the show together, because every one of the promotions I talk about, there's two links. There's the first tier and second tier. So, if you hear about this and it sounds cool, go sign up yourself. There's one link.
Yeah.
And if you want to promote your audience, here's the other link.
Yeah.
So, because there's really those two different tiers there. And ideally, you want to click on both. The best things to promote is something like, I want to go to that. And my people want to go to that too. Let's go on a field trip, guys. We're all going to, I have trouble with tech. You guys have trouble with tech. Let's all go see Katharine.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's that just a little bit of extra time that you can put into just thinking through, we work so hard when it comes to putting together the launches, right? We put together the webinars and if you have a PowerPoint or whatever that goes with that. And there's all kinds of, things that we think through, all of the emails that have to get written. And it's really, what you said about what Iman said is absolutely true. It really is a second launch. And you don't have to do it that way every single time. But I'm not saying you don't have to do it. You absolutely should do it, because when you're launching to your prospective customers, to your clients, you're doing like the whole webinar, that whole thing, you have to do all those pieces. So it kind of forces you to get that stuff done. And the JV thing ends up often being kind of an afterthought. It's like, oh crap, I should get some affiliates. Oh crap. And that's, like I was saying, like that's the missed opportunity. And so, that link to our affiliate website, that's like the marketing website to our prospective affiliates to kind of show them what's in it for them. And that wasn't like, I don't want to communicate that like the first time that I launched, we had all of that together, right? Because obviously we didn't. But from the very beginning, the very first launch I ever did, I had no email list. I was transitioning from, I used to do a lot of virtual assistant work and online business management. So a lot of done for you, one-on-one kind of stuff. And I was transitioning into coaching. And so I had no stuff. I had no website. I didn't have anything, but I did have some friends and some colleagues in this space just from various courses I had been a part of, mastermind groups I was in, Facebook groups I was in. And so if people are looking for partners, if you're kind of in that just getting started place, that's a great place to look. And in the beginning, it was super informal. I was just reaching out to friends of mine on Facebook, like via Facebook Messenger, and saying, hey, I have this launch that I'm doing, and I'm wondering if you would help me spread the word, just out of the goodness of your heart, because people will do that sometimes, right? Yep. And that first launch, I think I had something like 40 people sign up for it, 45 people sign up for not purchase, like just the free webinar, 45-ish people sign up. Nobody bought a thing. That was like 6 years ago and 5 years ish. And we're like, now we're like this close to having our first 6-figure launch. And we've got, partners whose names people have heard of. But then that's the trajectory, and it's been slow, and it's been like just little improvement by little improvement over time. But if you're approaching it wherever you are, like whatever point you're at with your business, if you're approaching your partners from the perspective of, I want this to be in service to you, and I want this to be a long-term relationship that benefits both of us, then that's what it comes out of. That's where having all this stuff together, that's what it comes out of, is just a desire to really be in service to them as well as to your clients.
Yeah. Well, and I want to amplify a point you made, those key. I think a lot of people, when they hear launches, they think like, in order to have a good launch, you need some major partners, people with 50,000 person lists, big players. And if you can't get them, then what are you doing? And I've known some people who have done 7 figures almost entirely with their own community. So it's not big players, it's not people with huge lists, it's their own clients simply being encouraged, like, did you get a lot of this? I love this. What can I do for you?
Yes.
We're promoting a thing. Can you promote it for us? Totally. I'm going to tell all my friends.
Yes.
Because there's, one way to do is send an email out to your 20,000 email followers who maybe open at 19%. The other way to do it is to tell 20 of your friends, I'm in this program. I love it. They're doing a free workshop. They're doing a free webinar. You got to check it out. I think you're really going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because then out of the 19 people you reach out to, 14 of them show up and 4 enroll, versus out of 20,000, 14 show up and 2 enroll.
Totally.
Yeah, you don't need a huge list necessarily part of it. Just as long as you can, it all comes down to getting people to show up, and that's anyone can do that.
Yeah, that's thank you very much for pointing that out. It's so true. It's really, it's a sad but well-known internet marketing fact that the bigger your email list is, the less responsive it tends to be. And some of our best partners are our fans, their clients, and my clients tend to be again, people who struggle with the tech. They're either beginners with their businesses, or they've been at it for a while, but it's like the consistency of monetizing consistently isn't really happening. Those are who my people are. These are not people who have even a 1,000 person email list or a 100 person email list. Like, that's not who they are. And they're doing exactly what you described. They're thinking, okay, I genuinely love this program. Like, I have personal experience with it. So their messaging is always coming from their heart, right? It's not just, it's not just like, oh, I copied and pasted the swipe copy I was given and I'm sending it out to my people. Like, they're saying, this program has made a huge difference for me. And, I thought of you, here's a link. And those messages convert very, very well. And it's, one of the things we talk about that a lot in my community, because we're constantly encouraging our people to become partners if they want to, but sometimes their stumbling block is, oh, but I don't have an email list, or my email list is teeny tiny. And it's like, and actually we talk about that on the website too. And we talk about kind of the marketing aspect of things that you'll see if you go and look at our affiliate website. It's like, this is how you can be successful if you don't have a big email list, or you don't have any email list. Some of our best partners are those people who are just genuine, authentic fans of the work that they've seen from me and from them. And they're just spreading the word about it.
Yeah, I love that concept. And I've actually been working with some people in the space about the fact that the idea that the professional promoters are looking for different incentives than the fans. So if they're in your community, then they're excited about the program. They're excited about you. They're excited about what you do. Whereas the professionals, they're like, okay, what am I gonna make off this? What's the leaderboard bonuses? What's the commission? Which is fine. But people in your community, you can motivate them with, think about like what Dan Mangena does for his promoters. Is I think actually he's there right now. A trip to Tuscany. So his top 10 promoters.
Cool.
He's taken with him to Tuscany to hang out with him. Nice. The professionals who know him as a partner, they're like, okay, cool, Tuscany, I guess. But his people are in his program. The people who have been there, like, to get to hang out with him for 3 days, they'll tell all their friends for that opportunity, because that's valuable. And that probably costs less than what the bonuses would be to get a professional to do, the equivalent amount of work. So
Yeah.
so kind of thinking about what will motivate. Yeah, getting back to that
That's
secondary,
fascinating.
secondary promotion. What will motivate those partners is the people in your program are motivated by different things than the people who are.
Yeah, that's totally true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really true. One of the things that we that's next level from what we do. I'm just like, you've got my wheels turning. But one of the things that we do for our clients is we just say, like, we'll just do the math for them and say, this is how many sales you have to make for your tuition in CMS to be more than covered. And sometimes breaking it, that's another thing that can help when you're interested in having smaller affiliates, because like the small but mighty affiliates, and it's like you can show them how even if you only bring in like 2 or 3 people, your tuition is taken care of. And but that's like I said, the wheels are turning.
yeah, that's what I wanted to share, because I thought that might be and that's part of the concept of the show, is to bring together different ideas. Because what I found I didn't know what a joint venture was 12 months ago, and then I jumped into this world.
Amazing.
And I said, there's so many different people doing it so many different ways who are not talking to each other, because they were each in their own little bubble pre-pandemic, their own separate tradition, and each one thinks their way is the only way to, not like my way is right, but my way is the only way. How else could you do it? And then I'm going from one to the next, because that's what my ADHD does. It drives me to meet lots of people.
Nice.
And I'd be like, oh, this is a really cool idea. And this is a totally different, but really cool idea. And this is a totally different, but really cool idea. What if we brought them together so we can all learn, from each other? So that's brilliant. That's the concept with the show. We're in episode 3. So, you're the
Amazing.
First guest to have on. So thanks for testing it out. I mean, I've done StreamYard interviews before, so the technology I'm comfortable with.
It's working.
But the show format is new and exciting. So thanks for being willing to be the trailblazer. As I was saying when we were messaging beforehand, when we have 1 million viewers a few years from now, you'll be like, episode 3, who the guest was?
That was me.
Me, Katharine Calhoun. That was me. So
I love it.
So I'm excited to have you back on in August. When your launch is over, you'll be able to give us some feedback on how it went and what worked well and what you learned from it, and share some of that knowledge with the community there. So thanks so much for being on the show. And so stick around for 1 second. I'm going to play the closing theme here, which my thanks to JVIC for hooking us up with the folks who made these awesome videos, because they totally make this a way more badass show to have music like this. So,
No question.
All right. So stick around for 1 second.